Welcome to the World According to Hunt. Today we're talking more about Saving Miz Liberty, my new book. I want to introduce you to the Global Book Network and Logan Crawford. I was lucky enough to have an interview with Logan that is out on the Global Book Network right now, and I encourage you to take a look at it. He is fantastic. I was pretty good, but he is amazing and brought out some wonderful things about the book from me that I think will make you interested. It's available on YouTube and most of the social media platforms as well, of course, the Global Network, globalbooknetwork.com. Today, I want to talk a little bit more about what we call Civil War II in the book. Logan led me into that conversation, and I'm not sure I answered his question the way he wanted. So I wanted to put out a short video to share my thoughts some more with all of you. The issue here for me is that the entire book is about Civil War II. That's what I wrote it about. I think America is in a civil war right now, but it looks very different. And instead of saying that, I really talked about the book as if people understood that already. So I'm going to take a section from the book, if you don't mind, and read it right now, and let you get a sense of what it means to me and what it means to Miz Liberty that this Civil War is going on. So here's the reading. America's Second Civil War began on January 6th, 2021. This was the day that the U.S.-American president supported a faction of armed men and women attempting to seize the U.S. Capitol and halt the peaceful transfer of power in our democracy. Hostilities began in earnest on January 20th, 2025. That was the day the newly elected President of the United States ordered massed and armed troops into the streets to enforce their worldview on the rest of us. The cause of this civil war, what I call Civil War II, is the same as that of the prior Civil War. Both wars are about liberty. It was much easier to understand the Civil War of 1861 to 1865. The industrial North, which valued freedom, contrasted sharply with the agricultural South, which depended on slavery. State lines clearly defined the sides. Almost everyone knew quickly which side they stood on. Civil War II is far more subtle. It'll be more digital than physical. The dividing lines are really hard to see, and most people don't know which side they're on, for sure. In elections, the battle lines appear as urban versus rural, and highly educated versus less educated. In terms of food, housing, job, and healthcare security, the divide is rich versus poor. Legally, people split between strict adherence to the rule of law on the one hand, and support for whatever measures are deemed necessary to solve a perceived problem on the other. Constitutional debates pit strict constructionists against contemporary interpreters. In education, the conflict is framed as liberal elites versus conservative working class. In religious terms, the divides often lie between fundamentalism in all its forms and more moderate understanding of sacred texts and traditions. In this Civil War, there aren't any physical battle lines. Instead, they're philosophical, economic, and rooted in different conceptions about the rule of law, and they're too often based on cult-like belief systems. Both sides ignore or misrepresent the facts and data to win arguments. Many believe some people should rule over others and dictate how they live. Little attention is paid to truth. Much attention is paid to feelings. The fighting is primarily digital, even though it is incredibly real for those that are arrested or deported for having the wrong skin color, religion, or place of birth. It is real for those wrongly injured or killed by government-sponsored violence. The cumulative effects of internet disinformation, rapid technological and social change, inflammatory television, radio, and online hosts, violent rhetoric from elected officials, and apparent unpunished lawlessness by government actors and their allies are producing fear and hopelessness among those who simply want to work and raise their families in peace. From the perspective of the average person, daily life is marked by growing anxiety about jobs, housing, healthcare, and food. Many feel the American dream has died for them and for their children. Businesses experience the conflict as heightened risk, but also expanded opportunity, because following the law currently seems optional or negotiable through campaign contributions or the purchase of the right coins. Inside the federal government, it resembles authoritarianism. Congressional paralysis has ceded power to the president and the executive agencies. To Miss Liberty's doctors trying to cure her and save liberty in America, it resembles the near-perfect execution of a plan to transform America into an authoritarian regime controlled by a dictator and oligarchs, resembling Russia, blended with a theocracy resembling Iran, quite ironically, except Christian nationalist rather than Islamic. In sum, liberty is dying in America. In our story, the Statue of Liberty is dying and must be saved. We talk in the AI chapter and the privacy chapter and the Bitcoin chapter about the technological tools that are being used to fight this digital civil war and how much more powerful they are than most people realize, and how effectively they're being used right now, even though we aren't really completely aware of it yet. And you should be afraid, because you are on a list. And on that list, you are either a supporter or a fighter of Donald Trump and his regime. And that list, if he stays in power, will ultimately determine your and your children's success in America. So I hope you read the book. It's for sale June 2nd, and I appreciate you taking a few moments to listen to this discussion.